look for patterns or look for a better, more efficient or linear way to order information has been the game changer for me. Now, that's not a sex answer, but instead of, I'm still a paper and pen girl, by the way. So I say all of this, but I only rely on pen and paper because let's face it, anything could happen at any day. And so, but it is taking all of my notebooks of information and literally assessing it and amassing it and giving me points to where I can almost like a browser, but also like a mini Suzanne brain. And then I can be like, okay, the last time I went to Italy and we did this, in the itinerary, the best things were this, the worst things were this, the restaurants were awful, or our flight connections were terrible. Can you suggest, if we're gonna do this itinerary again, where we might think about something differently? Knowing what went well, knowing what didn't go well, knowing the kind of people going, what would you suggest as something different? Now, could I do that myself? Yeah, but I'd waste a lot of money. It might take 3 or 4 trips, thousands upon thousands of dollars to get to that information, where an AI thing can amass all these different things from all these different places and then make a suggestion. Now, I'm the one that makes the choice, but the suggestion factor for me is the game changer.
The next wave of business leaders won't just use AI, they'll master momentum with it, starting now. Welcome to the Mastering AI Momentum Show, where visionary founders and driven business leaders turn artificial intelligence, automation, and scalable systems into real growth, real scale, and real freedom. If you're ready to break bottlenecks, reclaim your title, and scale smarter, this is your playbook. Let's dive in. Here are your hosts, Allie Porter and Elise Smith.
All right, welcome to the Mastering AI Momentum Show, where today's top entrepreneurs share how they're scaling smarter, evolving faster, and navigating future of business with or without AI. I'm Allie Porter, your host for today, and we have an amazing guest, and I have been waiting to have her on the show. I'm so excited that she finally gets to grace us with her presence, but we have Dr. Suzanne Castle on the show with us today, and she is an award-winning keynote speaker, dynamic business strategist, and transformational coach, known for helping ambitious women break through barriers to build extraordinary lives and businesses. She recently was honored with a Bronze Stevie Award as Women's Business Coach of the Year. Suzanne has been recognized among the top 10 most inspirational women in Tarrant County and received an Influencer Award from the International Association of Women. Her impactful work and inspiring presence have earned her features on every major network. A former professional entertainer, Suzanne captivates audiences with her engaging delivery, unique blend of creativity and strategy, and her signature sparkle factor framework. Through her workshops, coaching, and keynotes, Suzanne empowers women to move boldly forward, unlocking their full potential with actionable insights and a dash of sparkle, which I love. Whether leading her signature 3-day annual live event or delivering powerful keynotes, Suzanne brings both substance and energy, empowering others to take decisive action towards building their most vibrant and successful lives and businesses. So, Suzanne, welcome to the show, my friend.
Quite the introduction, Allie. Thank you for having me. I am so excited for this conversation today. I have been thrilled to have this invitation, and I know that we're going to dive into some juicy nuggets.
Oh, we are. You guys just wait. So I am super excited to have you here. And I just want to say, first and foremost, this is real life, y'all. So if a kid comes in, if a dog barks, if something happens, just know that we're going to just roll with it. So that's just the way it goes. Gotta love working from home, right? So, all right. So the first question I have for you, Suzanne, is I just want to hear from you the backstory. And I'm sure you're asked this all the time, but I want to hear it so people kind of get to know you a little bit and the behind the scenes. So how did you get to this point now in your business? What was the catalyst that really helped you to start, decide, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to dive in and I'm going to make this happen. And I'm going to follow my dreams, because so many people want to do that, right, but they don't actually take the steps to do it. So yeah.
Well, I wish I had this really fantastic, amazing, strategic story, because I'm a business strategist at the end of the day, but I don't. Because I fell literally into my business because I fell on the stage. Because as you noted, I was a professional entertainer, and my whole world, I came out of the womb, Allie, wanting to be a ballerina. I wanted to be on Broadway. I wanted to do all that. And bless my parents who made sure I had every opportunity to do that. And so lucky me, I was very lucky and made money doing that. And I fell in a show, and that was the end of my professional dancing career. Oh. And from that moment, my whole world spun, because everything I thought I knew, every choice I had made, every identity part of me was ripped away, I thought. And so I went through a really dark time of, am I worthy? I'm not fit for anything else. I had to throw myself a pretty fantastic pity party. I mean, raw cookie dough, all the sad, sappy songs. Like I had to make sure that I was really doing it right. And that really was the moment where I decided, okay, I can be a victim in my own story, or I can say, what do I get to do now? And honestly, it came from invitations from other people who said, hey, you were in Cats. Hey, you've been on TV. Hey, you've been in a movie. Would you come talk to my ladies' luncheon about what, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything and nobody cares. So sure, I'll go do that. And that's, yes, the power of that yes, to be like, well, I had nothing better to do, so I might as well go do something. That yes changed my life because I figured out pretty quickly that my stage just got different. I still had a stage. I still had something to say, but I wasn't necessarily, up with my arms in the air, and there wasn't necessarily a camera on me and people weren't clamoring for my autograph anymore. But I had meaningful stories to share about worth and value, how to pick yourself up again. And from that, I changed everything. And I had to get pretty clear, pretty quick. What does it mean to be a speaker? What does it mean to run a keynote business? What does it mean to help women understand the value of themselves in business when they've had everything ripped away? And that changed everything.
Oh, I love that. And as I was listening to you, it just brought back so many memories of myself when I was in, not that I got to do all the things you got to do, but that same conviction, like something happened in your life and you either could throw a pity party, which is, it's actually fine, like feel the feelings, right? But it's like, we don't stay there. We feel it and then we move forward. And I think that's what this life is all about. And I think that's what business is about. Like so many people look at it and when they fail or when they don't reach what they wanted to achieve, they're like, oh, guess it doesn't work. I got to go back to,
Exactly.
And it boggles my mind. I'm like, that's not what you do in life. You don't just be like, well, it's not going to work. I guess I'm just done. Like when you're a kid and you're learning to walk, you don't just be like, well, I guess I can't walk. Like
Right.
That's not how it works. You just keep going. And so I love the fact that you were able to take something that was so devastating and turn it around and really be able to be inspiring to other people. And then that kept perpetuating all the things you're doing now. So what was the one pivotal moment once you started to speak to all these women and really decide, oh, wow, this could be like a thing. Like I could actually do this. What did that feel like?
I want to be really honest. Like I am a big behind the scenes truth teller. I don't ever want to say anything that's not true about me. I don't know that I ever to this day say, oh, can I be doing this? Can I make money doing this? I mean, the entrepreneur roller coaster is alive and well, right? I'm like, I'm the best thing ever. And then, oh my God, what am I doing? I mean, in a day or in an hour. But I will say it's when my calendar got booked and, we talked before about pandemic and other conversations that we've had, and I didn't have to advertise. I was booking 2 years out. I had a line at the door to use my services, and at a keynote, I would book 10 keynotes. And suddenly I was like, people like, I want to work with you more. I mean, so my entire consulting business got born because I said, I'll go speak at a luncheon. And so I think to this day, what I would say is I just keep saying yes. I just keep showing up. And then I figure it out. Now that's a very creator, very entertainer kind of thing to do. And I realize that. And I don't want to say, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. But I will say, if I waited to have all the knowledge and all the tools at my disposal and felt totally ready, I would never do any. And so instead, I'm about the yes. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta get busy. Let's make it the best it can be. I gotta make sure I know what I'm doing. And I think so many of us, women especially, but also men, are just in that waiting period and waiting for everything to be just so, and all the stars to line up and have enough money and have the business plan just so, and have all the doors open. And I'm like, I'm kicking down doors. I'm not waiting for anybody to open a door for me. I'm gonna march through whatever I want to march through, and it's gonna go great or it's not, but I'm not gonna wait to find out. So I'm just wired a little bit differently in that maybe, but I wanted to be sure and say, like, just everybody listening, what do you want to do? There's honestly, Allie, in this world, I just don't know anymore that there's a decision that I can make, maybe, but I don't know of any decision. I tell my clients this all the time, that it will literally disrupt and bankrupt your entire existence that you can't fix in 24 hours. There are very few of those. So if that's the case, what are you waiting for? Do your own little waiting period. Do your 3-day return policy. Like, oh, this isn't really going like I want. And then turn around. But waiting is not serving anyone or the planet or you for anything.
I completely agree with that. I think that the more that people realize that it isn't about having everything together, it's not about lining everything up. It's about deciding, like making that decision of like, I want to do this. And then from there, everything just kind of falls into place or falls away, right? Like it'll just kind of happen. And I'm very much a creative myself. My business partner, Elise, is a lot more linear and she likes to have things structured and everything. And I think both are needed. I think that it's okay to have both. But at the same time, she also had to just make a decision like, hey, I want to do this. And I think it really comes down to that. And then just trusting yourself and just knowing that like you can do anything that you put your mind to. And I know that sounds like a movie, or it sounds like, yeah, great quote that we want, but it's true. Like if you really want something, go for it. Don't just like sit around, and all the things. So with that in mind, how did you end up scaling what you're doing? So you started with the yes. And from there, how did you end up saying, okay, and you did share that a little bit, but I want to know like behind the scenes, did you hire people? What did that look like to scale it? And you're still scaling now, but like, what did that look like to go from, I'm just going to do this little thing to like, wow, I'm actually building this empire, right?
Yeah. And I love that you use the word empire, because I really, in my mind, am building a takeover plan of the universe. And I don't think it serves anyone to not be all in like that. So it may be like, oh, you're so vain. Okay, great. I'm vain. But be an empire builder, be a kingdom builder, whatever the language is for me, it's that I am breaking the laws of the universe. And so, because then my whole energy shifts. And so it goes to your question. So in the beginning, I was a hustler. I was doing everything myself. I was bootstrapping where I can. And this is pre-AI, right? And so that means I'm calling, I'm burning up the phone lines, I'm a spreadsheet. I had no fancy tools because I'm just lean and mean, and really relied on always following up with people and maintaining relationships. So that's what I really did in the beginning. And then when I was able, then I bring in someone to be a booking agent. And then from there, I bring in an assistant. And then from there, I bring in an event manager. And then from there, then I bring in social media component, and I stack that. Now to this day, I still have all these components. I no longer use a booking agent. I do everything myself, but I routinely hire people because of their genius zone only. And AI has helped us make sure that we are only working in genius zones now. But part of that is I do everything on contract with people and say, I am hiring you for this specific skill set only. Now, if you have other skill sets, we can talk about that, but I need you to only do this lane. Can we do that? And literally Team Suzanne, we talk about, we're Team Sparkle Factor. We're a team. I am not any better than any other cog on the wheel, because if Jen doesn't do her job or Chelsea doesn't do her job, right? And then I can't do my job. And if I'm not doing my job, they can't do their job. And so we are literally a team. And so there really isn't a head of the team or anything. I do my thing, they do their thing, and we all coexist equally together, which is a different way and a disruptive way to do business.
Yeah.
But for me, it's what works. It's very relational, very organic. And we're constantly having the conversation about who's doing what needs to happen next.
Mm-hmm.
And it is allowing my empire to build at a different rate and to scale at a rate that I could never have imagined before.
Mm-hmm. And something that comes to mind when you say that is another phrase that we use for AI is authenticity and impact, right? Or scaled impact even. And so we do, obviously, I would love to hear about how you're using AI, to help with the zone of genius thing. So we'll get to that in a second. But I love how when you are able to allow people to do what they do best and be in their zone of genius, it allows your business and the impact and the authenticity of who the person is be able to scale and to move outward and to really help the masses in a much, much more targeted, authentic way. It's so beautiful.
And I will say, at least for us and my team here and what we're trying to do, I will say, I believe internally that I am paying people to fail constantly, because if we're not failing and things aren't going right, then we're not charging. You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying, we're not dreaming, we're not just like, let's just try this. And I'm a really big, let's just try this person. And so everything that we do is not going to work. I just need this much of what we're doing to work, because all of the failures that we're doing, we are constantly learning. And one failure could lead to 10 opportunities. Exactly. Because we had a relationship, or we learned a new tool, or something that made our entire empire faster. And so I am all about failure first, not success first. Now, that's a Disney thing, but I believe in allowing people to just do what they need to do and fail really hard and really fast, because that's, I think, where the success metric is biggest. And for entrepreneurs, that's probably the biggest fear.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It is so true, because you're like, well, you look at all the people that you want to aspire to, and all you're seeing is their success. So then you're like, well, I guess that's what it's like, but it's actually not. The successful people have failed. The reason they're successful is because they've just failed more, Right. And really, if people realize that, then I think that, number one, there would be probably less people that are willing to do it. But number two, it would help them to see, in order to get here, you have to do the failing. Like, you have to do the learning, or whatever word you want to use, but you have to learn from the things that don't work. And so I completely agree with you. Oh my gosh, so good. So good. I could talk to you for hours. I just love this.
I love us too.
So let's kind of move into the AI side of things, artificial intelligence. So I want to hear how you're using AI in your business, what your thoughts were when it first came out, like what you were excited about, what you were terrified about, and kind of where you see it going in the future, what you want to use it for, and all the things. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And everybody's different, by the way. Like not everybody's the same.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, let's be honest. We've used AI in my world for a very, very long time, and people just didn't know it, right? Because I am not sponsored by Apple. I want to say that this podcast is also not sponsored by Apple, as far as I know. I have been an Apple user since 1984, and I have used no other platform since 1984. That's how old I am.
Wow.
And I am exclusively all Apple product. And because of that, my whole life is integrated with Apple. And Siri, I mean, how many of us were using Siri years ago?
Yep.
If you were an iPhone user, that's AI.
It is AI.
What do people think? People that use any kind of Alexa, that is AI assistant. If you're using Grammarly to help with your grammar, what do people think? That is literally an AI. For people that are doing online checking, what do they think? I mean, it's a series of formulas or whatever, but basically an early spreadsheet on a computer that has formulas built in is basically very early AI. So when AI hit the market, I'm like, well, no, we've been using this forever.
Been around forever, just not in the way that we're used to now.
Correct. Because now it's in vernacular, right? But I will say, of course, my first thought was, oh my gosh, the Terminator. Like, because I'm a child of that, like, oh. But I'm a quick adopter. And so I immediately got on chat, the free version, and I'm like, what can I use this for? Like, this is amazing. And from that day, I use chat multiple times. That is my preferred platform, by the way, is OpenAI chat. But I use lots and lots of tools, not just theirs. But I mean, like, I am going to use what I can and learn it before I know if I don't need it anymore. I'm not going to be afraid because that does not serve me at all. And I think fear is on my team all the time because fear is teaching me something. So we use chat dominant. We also use Perplexity for research. It's a very important thing. We use AI to manage all of our travel to make it faster, more streamlined. I can research topics pretty quickly. Like, what are people talking about in such and such a space? What are women in the age of 30 to 65? What are their biggest fears as an entrepreneur that have children, that have little income, that have, put whatever in and do the research, where I was doing that before, but it was taking months. Now it takes an hour.
Yeah.
That allows me to make my keynotes. Like, I'm not using AI to write my keynotes. So again, I am using AI to do all of the things that then allow me to work, like we said, zone of genius. So I'm not using AI to write. I know that a lot of people are using it to write an email. Okay. But oh my gosh, now there are AI browsers, AI capable browsers. Like Comet is a really good example of that is coming online, right? Trello is my project management system. I know it's probably not sexy enough for people, but now AI is integrated with Trello and I run my entire life on that. And so it's about understanding the tools that you need and how to use them so that your people-centric things can be what you spend your energy on. So if I can manage finances and travel and ideation, and if I can refine my ideas and make them faster, if I can mind map, if I can all that, and give that to an AI tool so that my Jen has the human touch in an event and Chelsea is behind the camera actually filming stuff. Then we can throw all that into video editing software that AI can make faster for us, but we never just giving it away. There's always that human touch. That is how we're using AI.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that because we are the same way. Like, we're an AI agency, but we always talk about how it's never going to trump the human intelligence. Like, it's always, you put it together. You have the human intelligence plus the artificial intelligence, and that equals the authenticity and impact because you're never going to be able to outsource human. Like, it's just never, and you're not supposed to. Like, we're supposed to be more connected with people. We're supposed to, like you said, do the things that we're meant to do. But there is like a lot of stuff in the background, like you said, like the research time that it takes to do things and the organization side of things, like that can be truly outsourced by AI that can change it so drastically that you're able to do it. Like, and that's what we use it for, is research, is like, the foundation of things, but then we're able to build on top of that. And it basically makes us superhuman, so to speak, where we're able to do what we do even better and in just enhancing what we're doing, not taking over, not replacing, just making it better. And so I love how you use it. I love how your team uses it. I think that's amazing. And I also love how you're an early adopter, because I'm very much that way too. Like, I'm always looking for the next trends and things that are going to help us in a bigger way, and I'm always open to innovation and figuring things out. And as an entrepreneur, as someone in business, like, you kind of have to be that way, not just in AI, but in anything, right? Because that's how you grow. So what's the thing that you love the most about AI? Like, what has helped you the most out of all the things that you said? What's the thing that just, like, you're just so grateful for?
honestly, because I lead tours overseas with my keynotes, I mean, there's so many elements now to my business. What it has done as far as taking all the things that I word vomit, okay, and can quickly look for patterns or look for a better, more efficient or linear way to order information has been the game changer for me. Now, that's not the sex, but it is taking all of my notebooks of information and literally assessing it and amassing it and giving me points to where I can almost like a browser, but also like a mini Suzanne brain. And then I can be like, okay, the last time I went to Italy and we did this in the itinerary, the best things were this, the worst things were this. The restaurants were awful or our flight connections were terrible. Can you suggest, if we're going to do this itinerary again, where we might think about something differently? Knowing what went well, knowing what didn't go well, knowing the kind of people going, what would you suggest as something different? Now, could I do that myself? Yeah, but I'd waste a lot of money. It might take 3 or 4 trips, which are thousands upon thousands of dollars to get to that information, where an AI thing can amass all these different things from all these different places and then make a suggestion. Now, I'm the one that makes the choice, but the suggestion factor for me is the game changer.
Yeah. And especially I loved how you used it on a personal note as well, because we do talk about it in business, but it's so helpful personally too, because I'm very much that way. I'm all over the place. And for once in my life, like I can literally just say everything and then they organize it in this nice little package so that I can be like, okay, here, Elise, you take this, or here, husband, you take that, because my husband is a very linear type of person. And that's the one thing that we've struggled with even in our marriage, just being able to communicate in the way that he understands and vice versa. And so it's been so helpful to be able to, even when we're working on stuff together, to be able to see each other's point of view. So in a personal way. And in business with, Elise, who's more of a analytical thinker and linear thinker, like it just helps so much to be able to just take everything that I'm thinking or feeling and organize it, like you said, in a way that can actually help. And it does it in a matter of seconds, like it's amazing. So I think that's the thing that I love about AI now versus how it's been in the past, where it couldn't do that before in that way. But like you said, we've been using it forever. It's just in a different way now. And so it's been really, really cool. So if there was one thing that AI could do for you in the agentic world, say because we've done more generative right now with ChatGPT and Perplexity and all of that. But if there was something that AI could do for you, what would it be?
It's interesting. We're having this conversation just after Sam Altman talked about making sure that people understand that they are revealing personal data and asking legal questions, and none of that is protected. So for me, that is at the top of my mind. So what I am looking for in the next iteration of AI tools and things is a way to keep what I have trademarked as mine and not have it mined for data. So the next level of AI for me would be to either have a way that you protect those features, or you opt into certain kinds of things, or you allow access to forms of data, but that it is not usable. And now I'm saying all this to go, gosh, that just seems really big and hard. But holy cow, like when I was watching the Jetsons as a kid, I had no idea that we're living in the time of the Jetsons now.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that could even be a thing. And so I'm just saying that the next iteration of AI is how we're going to just not have it be the wild, wild west, but literally how it's going to be able to protect trademarks, but also have information that is still shared in an egalitarian kind of way. So
I love that. I love that. And I completely agree with you. In fact, we're in talks with companies that actually are working on that or doing that, where they're keeping things more secure and everything. Because right now it is totally wide open. So you use it at your own discretion because it is completely wide open. But it is also nice to know that they are heading in that direction, right? Like they're working on getting it more secure and also allowing people to choose what they want to let out and what not, like what to keep private or whatever. But I love that. And I love that you're thinking about it in that way, because as we continue to evolve, as AI continues to evolve, we will be able to use it in better, smarter ways. And especially if it's protected, especially for entrepreneurs, like trademarks stuff and everything, like that's huge. That is huge, So I love that.
I'm in that conversation right now with my attorney. How do we think about copyright now? Because copyright doesn't save me anymore. Like everybody listening, copyright's not saving you, by the way.
Yeah.
So right now, any of you could go put I want Suzanne Castle to be my coach, act as Suzanne Castle as a business coach. And I am stuck because my field is decision-making. So if you didn't know that, I want to make a better, faster decision using Suzanne's Sparkle Factor trademark and her decision-making framework. How do I do that? Could you be my coach for the next 20 days and give me a 20-day framework for making this big decision? Okay, so I am with my attorney going, okay, now how and what do we need? Like, what can we put on things? What statement do I need on documents when I'm speaking, when people are filming me, when I'm on a media appearance? I was just on TV not too long ago. And like from that appearance, what can people take by what I said and throw in chat and just make it theirs? And now it's not even my voice anymore. I mean, I was 16 million people heard my news segment. Like that is the top of mind for me. And I'm hoping it's at the top of mind for attorneys and other people. And so the ethical framework that needs to happen around AI to me is super urgent.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think we're going to get there. I really do. And I think that it is just a matter of figuring all of that out because I mean, this has been the way it is now. It's been out for what, 2.5 years, maybe 3?
Yeah.
So hopefully,
Yeah.
but I am super impressed with how you've used it up to this point and like what you're doing with it. And it's really cool to be able to see like the different, like how people use it in different ways. And also the downsides to it too, because people talk about how amazing it is, but I do love how you're saying, you know, we need more security around it. We need more boundaries around it as you would anything, right? Like that's how everything starts. It explodes and goes crazy. And then they're like, okay, we actually need to have some regulations around it and stuff like that. So I think that that's just smart. If it hasn't already, it will touch your industry. I promise in some way, shape, or form, it will. So cool. Well, this has been such a fun conversation, Suzanne. Thank you so much for joining me today. So,
oh my gosh, thank you.
What is next for you in your business? Where can people find you if they want to know more about your signature framework, how you help people, what you do, and kind of give a brief overview about that? Because I don't think we talked about that too much. So yeah, feel free to share all the things.
Anyone, just go to my website, which is SuzanneCastle.com, Castle like a princess. I know we'll put it in show notes or whatever. That's really the easiest way. All my socials are there. There are freebies there. Go get all the freebies. Go get all the things. There's videos. I do free trainings all the time. Like you don't have to pay to have me do anything. I'm all over everywhere. Like you cannot run away from Suzanne Castle. So do that. But one thing I would like to say that I have coming up. So if you are a chica of any kind, like if entrepreneur or not, leader, change maker, visionary of any kind, I do an annual 3-day event. We mentioned it at the top called Verve, VERVE. And there's information on the website, or you can go to SuzanneCastle.com/Verve. 3 days live. This year, it happens to be in Texas. It's in Arlington, Texas. It's in October. It sells out every year. We just opened tickets. I think about half of them are gone. I mean, it's literally not been live very long. I don't know when this is dropping pretty soon. So we have like one of the top 2% LinkedIn creators is going to be given a keynote. We have someone talking about free PR. Like, how do you get free PR? Who is Emmy award-winning person doing that? I mean, I'm on the stage. I mean, the caliber of people, but it's a community building. It's a dream casting session. You'll walk away with 90 days of business plans. So I would love for anyone, if that's your jam, like come to Texas, come hang out. I would love to meet you. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, I'm totally going to be there. I'm super excited. Awesome. Well, yes, definitely check out Suzanne. We will have all of her links in the show notes so that you can get to know her better. And truly, guys, you just need to know Suzanne. She's a light in your life, literally. And also that's her brand, right? Like, sparkle all the way. But truly, like she's just a light and she's doing so much for the world. So please connect with her, get to know her. And I hope that as we continue to evolve, hopefully we'll be able to see her more and more connected with us and maybe do another podcast episode or something. So
yes. Yeah, and we're going to cross do that. You're going to be on my show soon. So
yes, I'm so excited. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for taking this time to really dig deep with us on not just AI, but also what it takes to build a business and how we can better do that as we are growing our business, as we are continuing to evolve and change, because it's a journey, right? And we're all here for the journey, and it's beautiful. And when you look at it from that perspective, when you can look at it from, this isn't just something I'm building and then that's it. It's really not the destination, it's the journey. And so that's why we do what we do, because we're here to like help you along the journey. So with that said, make sure to subscribe and join us for our next episode. And we want you to help to build smarter, lead stronger, and really master your AI momentum with authenticity and impact. So until next time, have a great day, everyone. We'll see you on our next episode. Take care.
You've been listening to Mastering AI Momentum. If today's episode gave you clarity or sparked a breakthrough, share it, review it, leave us a comment, and show Ali and Elise how you're turning AI into ROI. And make sure you subscribe, because the next episode could be the strategy that unlocks your next level. Until then, build smart, scale fast, and let AI multiply your momentum.